Ladies and gentlemen, every YouTube presentation has to start with this video.
They see me rolling, they hating, patrolling and trying to catch me riding dirty, 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 trying to catch me riding dirty. My music's so loud, I'm swinging.
Now, who doesn't feel like this guy, right? Who doesn't feel like this guy? Brilliant, eh? I mean, that was gold. The reason I showed you that was because most people here, I can guarantee, had their first experience of YouTube. Had their first experience of YouTube through something like that, right? And you probably have a perception that content on YouTube is like this. And that's fine, because the dancing turtle and the kitten, between them had about 10 million views of their videos, and this guy's had 2 billion views. And you might say, back up, big guy, what are you doing coming here at a wine conference to talk about kittens on turtles? Okay, that's a good question. Well, every day at YouTube, my job is to work in the advertising community, right? And I work with some of the world's biggest advertisers to help them understand how they can use YouTube to really get their message across, right? To compete and to engage with their consumers. Now, the biggest thing I have to overcome is their perception that quality of content on YouTube is crap. What they don't realize is that fame is changing on YouTube, and it's changed forever. All right, we got a glimpse of this when Psy got 2 billion videos in the space of about 2 or 3 months. Right? But the reality is, for years, there have been people on YouTube with channels who have audiences far bigger than any TV show and any TV channel. And that is crazy. Like this person. This is Tanya Burr, right? She's a 24-year-old vlogger from Norwich. She blogs about beauty and lifestyle stuff. She has about 2.5 million subscribers on her channel, and those videos have been viewed about 150 million times. But what does that number mean? Well, that number means that if she sends a tweet saying she's going to Covent Garden, this happens. Chaos ensues, right? She turned up. The police had to come and close down Covent Garden for a few hours while they sorted it out. This is not what happens with a passive audience, right? This is what happens with passionate fans. And that's why I'm saying the nature of fame has changed forever because of YouTube. On YouTube, we don't have one single commissioning editor. Right? We're not a broadcaster, we're a platform. But what we do have is 1 billion people coming every month, and through their liking and their sharing and their commenting and their subscribing, they're telling us what's fantastic. So in their own way, they are being the commissioning editor. We also don't have a schedule. Right? So for many millions of people, the tyranny of the TV schedule has disappeared. For those people who want to create great content, for those people who want to watch great content, they don't need to worry. Now that has huge implications, if you think about it, for commissioning editors and people like that. Because their job is to ensure that they never produce one of these. Right? They cannot produce a lemon. If it's in primetime TV and they produce something where audiences drop and ratings drop, guess what? So does advertising revenue, and they get fired. So they would never be able to take the risk on going out and commissioning a young, unknown beauty enthusiast from Norwich and giving her own show. And that's pretty much what happens with wine. Wine on TV is always the bridesmaid, it's never the bride, right? It's always playing second fiddle, at best, to food in a food and wine show, at worst to some quirky segment in a lifestyle show, right? Now that is a real shame, isn't it? And I've spoken to a lot of people in the media industry about why is that? And they say wine is too niche. I say, really? Check this out. This is a channel called Disney Collector, right? That's how the woman speaks, by the way. It's bloody annoying. She's this Brazilian, Portuguese, American mixed person. She's faceless. You never see her face. You just see her beautifully manicured hands. She spends the whole time unboxing Disney toys, right? I came across it because of Frozen and Elsa, etc. Her community is hugely engaged. It leans forward. Check this out. They're having an argument, 12 people here are having an argument about the fact that Snow White and Rapunzel look more authentic than Aurora and Tiana. It's insane. It's a huge community that's being created here, right? I'm going to give you some stats now that really bring this to life, all right? Her channel has 3.5 million subscribers. Since 2011, when she set it up, it has had more than 3.1 billion views. Okay? Now, granted, I'm not the target audience, but that's the point about YouTube. On YouTube, something hasn't worked. On YouTube, niche is the new mass. Okay? That's a fact. Niche is the new mass on YouTube because on YouTube there's an audience for everything. If a pair of hands that unbox Disney toys can get 3.1 billion views, I do not understand why it can't happen for wine, right? So, I did a search in the wine trade and I found this video here, which I hope every single one of you have seen. Given what you do, if you haven't, you should A, be ashamed, and B, go and watch it. Given what you do, this is the most important life hack, surely, that any of you need to know. It's amazing. I love Mirabeau wine, so I saw this and then went through to their channel. And I was thoroughly disappointed, right? The video that you've just seen there had just over 8 million views. It accounts for almost every single view of the Mirabeau channel. They've created about 400 videos, and for some reason, that's the only one that anyone ever watches, okay? So what's going on here? They make wonderful wine, not such great YouTube video channels. So I want to share with you some rules, right? These are some rules that have been created unwittingly by the YouTube superstars over time, okay? They've been doing this for probably 7, 8 years, some of the most advanced ones, and they understand YouTube. And I want to share with you some of the things that are so simple that they do. The first one of which, quite simply, is to understand that YouTube is totally different to any other platform, and they understand why it is that people come. People come to YouTube for 3 reasons, one of 3 reasons. They come to be entertained, to browse. They come to search, to find something specific, or they come to be inspired by something. Create content that meets those needs, and you will win. And then treat your audience like friends. That's exactly what these guys do. That 2-to-1 relationship, that 1-to-1 relationship they can have via a camera is huge. They are just themselves. They're not highly polished. They're warts and all. They stutter. They make mistakes in their editing. They show everything. They are friends and they do not talk down. And like friends, they have a communication going on where they actually share feedback. Right? They ask for feedback in their videos. They say, how are things going? What do you want to hear from me? The audience talks back in the comments. They join in the comments. They create videos that listen to what they say. Right? That's one of the big things that makes them successful here. The fourth thing that really makes them successful is they do something you cannot do normally. They collaborate with their so-called competition. So here we have Tanya on the right, hanging out with Zoella on the left. Now, Zoella, for any of you who live in London, hopefully you've seen her face on a bus, London bus, and a whole lot of outdoor. We've just been advertising and promoting her. These two, both from Norwich, they both talk about beauty. They compete, right? Not like these guys. These guys, Top Gear and Fifth Gear, compete on TV for prime time space. You would never see them working together, but these do. And they can do that because there's no tyranny of the schedule. Now that gives them new content which they can share to each other's audiences, and then they both grow. It's a wonderful thing. It's one of the most important things. But this is the final and most important thing. Remember the feeling you had when you first watched that first video on YouTube. What didn't it make you feel like this? Successful bloggers remember that, and that's how they treat their audience. Thank you very much.